What's up? Welcome back. Welcome to new. My name is Mark, and today we're back with another episode of Daemons of the Shadow Realm. This is episode 11, and where we last left off at the end of last episode, we got to see Yuru-kun and everyone survive against the long arm and long legs. Although, not everyone, technically two of the tails died, but oh well, I guess. Kind of sucks, but we didn't get to know them as well. The granny survived though, so far, which is cool to see. We got to see Dedo-san pop off, quite literally at times as well, with a sniper rifle. Bro, he was locked in. He was also pissed that they were trying to do what they want on his turf, which, fair enough, man. Remind me not to piss off Dedo-san, man. Because when he's serious, bro. And this episode, I am very excited to talk about, because it was really good. But, as always, you can check out the reaction to this episode in the description down below at the Patreon, and also in the pinned comment. Go over there, the link should take you directly to the post. Become a paid member if you haven't already. Check out the reaction, and come back over here for the review. But, with that said, if you're new here, strap in. If you've been here before, you know what to do. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your notebooks, because I took quite a bit of notes, actually, not as many. And let's talk about the episode. Also, like and subscribe. But this episode was really good. It starts out with Azuma. Is it Asuma or Asuma? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. We started with Asuma with his two daemons, and he said, and one of the daemons says that it was caught and killed or whatever, the butterfly, and we learned that daemon is called Asagiri. Now I don't know if that's like the specific daemon or if that's like the whole both of them together, but cool name, Asagiri. And Asuma, he's very calm. It tells me that despite everything, despite how he may seem a little bit, like how he may look like someone who's going to be easily deterred or easily beaten, he's not. He's going to be a real threat in the future, which I'm happy about. I hope our like main characters, they get more challenges in the future. But anyways, moving on back to where the lost house is, Yuru actually found the master of arm and leg, long arm and long legs, and we learn that the master is a kid. And on top of that, we learned that his name is Tadada Ken-kun. And he's 13. And like, damn, man, this dude is in a fight for his life at the age of 13, bro. Dealing with those two motherfuckers. Like, damn, man. But one thing we learned is that his dad's name is Roe. Roe? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. But that also turns out to be the name of Dedo-san's dad. And so we learn these two are half-brothers, which, fair enough, man. I have a half-brother. That's cool. And turns out Dedo-san's dad, who he calls his predecessor, left a long time ago. Well, we learned it was 10 years ago, but that doesn't matter right now. Meanwhile, Yoru left and right are happy for Dedo-san because of family reunion and all that. Although Dedo-san doesn't think it's that heartwarming. But it's heartwarming, even if he doesn't think that. And moving on. The reason we actually learn, Ken knows quite a bit about, well, not quite a bit, knows about Yoru, Asa, and their parents because Dedo-san and Ken-kun's dad taught Yoru's mom and dad how to escape the village barrier, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But before we can get any more information out of him, because Yoru has questions for him, lots of questions, the granny is like, yo, I'm not interested in hearing any more about this. Because you saved my life, I won't say a word, but can I leave? And like she's valid for that. I wouldn't want to be involved any more than that, especially at her age, when like she has a husband, maybe a kid or two. Like I don't blame her for wanting to just get the fuck out of there, man. But Yoru's like, yeah, sure, you can leave, because Dedo's uncertain, but it's up to Yoru, because she is the one who like revealed who he was and all that. But then Yoru's just like, is your husband involved in this? But nope, he's just an official apparently. And Yoru's like, yeah, go ahead, it's fine. Yeah, and also the reason he lets her leave is because he doesn't sense any bloodlust from her anymore, which I mean, fair enough. I trust you. I genuinely trust Yoru's instincts at times. So if he says that so, then that's so. And so she gets to leave. let's see, where are we? I'm trying to. Okay, so uh, I'm probably gonna be jumping around a little bit. Uh, once they Dedasan escorts her out, but before that though, she wants to bury the two guys that came with her. They don't have any family, so no one's gonna mourn them. So left and right, at orders of Yurdu, they help dig a hole for the bodies. Yurdu helps as well, and all's well that ends well. She leaves, and she's surprised, of course, that they're out back in this town. But then the last thing she says is that she's quitting, and genuinely, I don't blame her. She's probably been doing this a long time. I don't blame her for wanting to quit, man. So that's cool. And also, one thing we learned at some point, I don't remember if this was before or after the granny says she's quitting, but we learned that contracts can be broken if both parties agree between the master and the daemons. And they're called masters for convenience sake, but they're actually equal in that regard to daemons, which is cool. And left and right also express a desire to enjoy the outside world more after 400 years of not doing that. And honestly, that's the first time we've really seen them be like open, almost vulnerable like that. Granted, vulnerable is a stretch, I'd say, but like seeing left especially be the one who says that and be a little more vulnerable, that was interesting. It was nice to see them opening up a little bit. I want to know more about left and right, honestly, like what kind of lives they've lived, bro, because like damn, man. Anyways, moving on. Ken-kun and Deda-san don't know where their dad is, which that's not surprising, I guess. Dada's just like, as Ken-kun talks about how his dad just up and left. He's like, yeah, yep, that sounds like him. Yep. And Deda-san just wonders if he's still alive. And that was that. Which, I mean, fair enough, because turns out he dumped the job. He essentially dumped the job on him a long time ago and left. But we're gonna get to that. But also, I wrote down a theory, or maybe not a theory, more so like an observation, that their dad is definitely going to be important in the show because he showed Yuru's parents how to escape the village barrier, and the rest of the episode proved my point that the dad is definitely not going to be a one-off. Like he's definitely important in some way. And we learn that Ken's mom, who was from Ethiopia, which is cool, died. His dad dipped, and he was alone. Which, that's a recipe for disaster, bro. It's no wonder that he then says that he wanted to retain some powerful daemons, and he found where Tenaga Ashinaga were, and Long Arm and Long Leg, and were sealed and formed a contract with him. I don't blame him. Bro, his mom died, dad dipped, and he's all alone. You'd probably be doing that too if you were him. Especially because he's only 13. Like, damn, man. Poor guy. Okay, I think I covered everything on this page. Anyways, next page. But Ken-kun, he's telling his backstory about how he found out the Long Arm and Long Leg. He found out how evil they actually were, and decided that he couldn't let them run rampant in the world. So he trapped him and them, keyword both of them, in the Lost House. Which, I gotta give him some respect for being willing to trap himself in there to, like, protect everyone else. Like, damn, man. That kid's pretty brave. Especially because he was already he already mentioned how he was, like, alone and everything. The fact that he's just isolating himself even more and essentially being even more alone. Like, damn, man. And, then we learn, moving from Ken-kun, we learn from Deda-san that, their dad just gave him all the responsibilities and work of being the clan leader, essentially, and then dipped. And this was 10 years ago when Yurdu's parents fled. So basically, he hid away because he didn't want to be caught up in the fact that he helped them escape, which honestly, fair enough. And also the fact that it was our Ken or Deda-san that said because he's been at war and in conflict with the Kagemori family for so long, he has nowhere to go. Like, damn, man. Poor guy. And we also learned that supposedly Nagisa, who was Yuru's mom, blackmailed Ken and Deda's dad into helping them escape. And he said, Ken-kun said that his dad said that she may look nice, but she's actually scary. And then Yuru, he turns to back to like look into like off into the distance, imagines his mom and is like, "Not bad, mom." And that's just funny to me, man. The apple does not fall far from the tree, I guess. But moving on, we also learn that the reason he helped them is because Ken and Deda's dad did not like the village's twin tradition, which fair enough, but he did specify that all he did was help them escape the barrier. That was it. And so after that, we fast forward to going back to the real world, not the real world, the like IRL world, whatever you want to call it, where to go back to the apartment where Hana and them are staying, and Hana-chan was all worried about Yuru, hugs him, make sure he's okay, make sure it's just a scratch. Yuru, he's like, oh, she just cares, she's a nice person. Meanwhile, Hana-chan, she's looking down and like, she's just like, thank God there are no medical bills. And honestly, as someone who has medical debt, I don't blame her, bro, at all. Bro, medical debt is not fun, man. But I say that, but I also think deep down she definitely does care about Yuru. She's just really does not want to deal with debt and bills and all that. I mean, fair enough. But also, at this point I had asked what happens to Ken-kun. Turns out he's staying with them, which is awesome. I'm glad that he's not alone anymore, cause that was something I was wondering. Like, if he's gonna be left alone again, then they're not much different from his dad, and like they can be better than his dad, I think. So I'm glad that he's not being left alone. And so they then explain everything to Hana, and the first thing Hana sees is the card for the bar or whatever that Jin gave to Dero-san, and he's like, "Yo, it's not what he looks like." But then she's like, "Gambling, entertainment," and then she sees Ken, and she's like, oh, "Secret love child," which is funny. Like, damn, man. I mean, that's to be fair. That it's an unfortunate series of events that could be confused as him having a secret love child. Even Yuru thought the same. So I mean, there might be some credibility to thinking that. But eventually, they sit her down. They explain everything that happened. She still thinks that he's a love child, secret love child. And but then Ken's like, my mom set this up for me, and hands a checkbook or banking book, balance book, account book. I don't know what they're called. It's not a checkbook. It's a balance book, right? A bank book? I'm getting off track. Doesn't matter. But apparently it hasn't been updated in a while, so they're like not sure how much it's valued. But turns out she sends Deda-san to go update it, because that's apparently what you do. I don't know how bank books work. I don't have one. But comes back and apparently it's a lot of money, man. And so Hana does a complete 180. And she's like, you're welcome to stay forever, man. And she's so happy holding up the fucking bank book, bro. Like, damn, dude. And she's so happy and everything. And then, but then we learn, because we didn't know what happened to their dad, if Deda's dad is alive or not. Turns out he's probably alive, because we learned from Deda-san, who's looking at the bank book, that their dad has been making, I don't know if it's monthly deposits, but he's been making deposits, and they're recent too. And Hana compliments him for being a good dad, but then Deda's like, he didn't do that for me. And it is interesting. Why do you think the Deda's dad, Deda and Ken-kun's dad, seemed to be a little bit more parental towards Ken-kun than Deda-san? Is it because of circumstances that they're in? Or is there something more to it? I don't know. I hope we learn more. But now everyone wants to find him because he's alive. He might know stuff, and he probably knows stuff. As I said, this definitely adds to the theory that he's going to be important in the future too. So I'm happy that he's alive. But the problem is they don't know what he looks like because according to Ken and Dedasan, he never let them take photos of him. Which, damn man, turns out he's very good at hiding and not getting caught. And he would use an aliases. He's good. And it also explains why the Kagemoris have not caught him yet. Which, yeah, that would explain a lot also. I want to know more about the dad, man. I'm curious to know what he looks like, because that matters to me a little bit. Also, I want to know more about why he does what he does, why he did what he did. I also want to know if he has any Daemons, or something like that, other than the Lost House ones. I don't know. I have questions, lots of questions. But, after that, they retire for the night. But Yoru gets to go take a bath, and he's talking about how he's basically talking about how because in the mountains water was a precious resource, that he's so like shocked that he's able to just use as much water as he wants essentially for a bath. It's basically a luxury to him because, as I said, in the mountains water is precious, which makes sense. And I'm happy that he's happy and that he's like getting to explore and do new things like this, man. And so now, fast forward, they're in bed. They're in like their room. Yoru's on a really flat futon, where Ken gets a really comfy one apparently. And apparently the Yoru, the futon's too comfortable to sleep in, which wild to hear about, but also not wild when you think about where he's been for basically his whole life. But Yoru's like, I hope we find your dad soon, and Ken's like, yeah, thanks, man. I hope we do too. But then, next time we know it, Ken cries. Ken is crying, and he says he hopes they find Yoru's parents too, which is sweet, man. And then also, meanwhile, as that's all happening, it's a bittersweet moment, honestly. And meanwhile, at the foot of the futons, it's left and right. They're just they're sitting there, watching. I considered it them watching over them instead of just watching the show. They're watching over them and all that. That's what I think it is, and so that's cool. Meanwhile, at the end there, Deda's looking at stuff, drinking alcohol, and we see that there's an urn on the table, and it turns out it's Ken's mom, which fair enough. She hasn't been buried yet, and so hearing that, Hana-chan offers to bury Ken's mom on her mountain, because remember, she owns a mountain. She's a baron according to Yoru. She owns a mountain, which is fair, which is cool, man. And this is really cool that she offers to bury his mom there. Like, Hana-chan puts on a front of not liking kids, just being stoic and just like serious, no nonsense, but deep down, you know that she's a nice person. Yoru wasn't wrong when he said that she's a nice person, just not completely altruistic. Like, she definitely she likes money, fair enough. She likes not paying bills, fair enough. But she does care, which I am glad that she like does genuinely care about them and does care like this. It's nice to see. The same for Deda. Like, we already know he cares in his own way, and Hana cares in her own way. And like, yeah, that's what I had to say for this review, reaction, and discussion of the episode. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Seriously, I am curious what your thoughts are. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. Patreon is down below for the full-length reaction. You can check it out over there. It'll be in the description and the pinned comment. The link should take you directly to it. The tiers are lower priced, so check it out there. Become a member. You get a shout out at the beginning of the video. And while you're down there, make sure that like button, subscribe, ding that notification bell, hype the video in the YouTube mobile app. And yeah, no, I Also, definitely recommend you go to the Patreon and check out the exclusives that I do as well, because I do quite a few exclusives. But with that said, until next time, my name is Mark. Never stop being yourself, stay safe there, and I will see all you crowd people in the next video.